Senator Simmons, you want to take back up SB30?
Yes, Mr. Chair, and thank you.
You're recognized. Tab 3 members.
Senators, this is a claims bill that arises out of the injury of Erin Joynt because she was vacationing in Daytona Beach and was injured when a vehicle drove over her head and resulted in significant injuries to her that are permanent. This is a matter in which, while Volusia County objects to this claim, the fact of it is that it has insurance, and the insurer is refusing to pay until there is, in fact, a claims bill. The insurance that is available under that policy would pay the amount that the special master has found to be a liability of the county, and I ask that the claims bill be approved.
Are there questions? Senator Powell.
Yes, sir.
You're recognized for a question.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, and thank you, Senator. Why is it that Volusia County would reject or object to a claims bill that comes to us in the legislature?
Volusia County maintains that the amount of the claim is excessive under the facts and circumstances. Also, it claims that the matter is not ripe because of the existence of Senate Rule 4.81(6), which deals with the issue of requiring that before we address a claims bill that there be an exhaustion of all available administrative and judicial remedies, but that I believe has been interpreted appropriately to mean only the issue of liability and damages, not collateral issues, which there is a collateral issue as to the amount of attorney's fees that would be awardable, and that is in the Middle District of Florida. So I think that's already been addressed by this Senate, and the special master has already moved forward with the determination and found that the amount is a reasonable and justifiable amount, independently of any determination. In other words, confirmed the amount is a reasonable amount of compensation.
Follow up. Senator Powell, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. And that amount is?
The amount that is, Mr. Chair, the amount that is recommended by the special master is $1,895,000, I believe.
Further questions? Any other questions? All right, seeing none, there is an amendment. Senator Simmons, if you could explain barcode 115586.
Yes, Mr. Chair and Senators, the committee has recommended, the staff has recommended that the amendment based upon the Florida Supreme Court's decision relating to attorney's fees, that the amount of the attorney's fees that are awardable are limited to 25% of the amount recoverable.
Are there any questions on the amendment? Is there any objection to the amendment? Oh, you have a question on the amendment?
Yes, sir.
All right, go ahead.
Senator, will that be 25% of the $1.85 million?
Mr. Chair, it would be 25% of the $1,895,000 that would be payable.
Follow up, you're good.
I'm good.
Further questions on the amendment? Is there any objection to the amendment? Seeing no objections, show the amendment adopted. We're back on the bill as amended. Are there questions on the bill as amended? Senator Thurston, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Senator Simmons, I heard your explanation as to why Volusia would be objecting. Is there any possibility that there would be any type of federal interaction with our decision if we vote for this claim bill? Is this possible coming back or going back into court, or are there issues yet to be resolved in this issue, in this bill?
You recognize?
I believe that those issues, as I understand it, are collateral. They are discussed in the special master's final report by this Senate, and they are on page 6. And what has happened is that I don't believe that that would affect the amount that would be awardable by this legislature. and hopefully approved by this committee.
Further questions?
No further questions.
Senator Powell, you have a question?
Last question.
Okay.
Senator Simmons, the 1.8 million, is that consistent with the amount for pain and suffering in terms of other issues with the same type of, I guess, same type of injury?
You recognize.
Senator, that was the amount that the special master found was reasonable, and the extent of injuries to this woman are extensive. As a matter of fact, the special master went through the extent of the injuries and found them to be significant and permanent. The vehicle turned and went outside its own lane that was permitted on the beach. She was lying in a place where she was entitled to be lying. She was on vacation with her family, her husband, and her 2 children. The vehicle ran over her head. It caused permanent paralysis to a portion of her face, and the special master went through the significant extent of the injuries to her. They're on page 3 of the special master's report, in which the special master concluded that previously she had an active lifestyle with her family, including riding and racing motorcycles, boating, swimming, and playing softball. She was proud of her diction and elocution. Since the action, it has been too painful for her to enjoy any of these activities, and additionally, she has difficulty in being able to make certain sounds, and sometimes has difficulty in finding the right word to express herself. The special master further explained these significant problems, as well as her depression that has resulted from it.
Follow up? After that explanation, I imagine you're good. Any other questions? Senator Gibson, you have a question? Oh, okay. All right, we're going to appearance cards. First up, Chris Carmody, representing Volusia County. Waves in opposition. Erin Joynt, Meadowbrook Insurance. Not here. Oh, you guys. Jason Unger on behalf of?
Erin Joynt, Chairman. I think that was...
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, you're right. Jason Unger. Go ahead. You're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Certainly, having gone through the special master process, I can tell you that it's never easy to be up here on the defense side of a claim bill. They were all terrible circumstances, and Mrs. Joynt is a wonderful woman who's certainly injured. The reason we appear in opposition is severalfold. First and foremost, the number of, or the amount rather, of damages, pure non-economic damages. The appellate court deleted all economic damages for wages and for medicals. There are no medicals in this. And in comparison with the reports that are submitted by the Florida Legislature on historical analysis of claim bills, the amount in question here is far in excess of normal non-economic damage cases. Of equal concern, and the bill sponsor and the special master alluded to it, is the federal action in the Middle District of Florida. And yes, while that federal action does say that all it's doing collaterally, as pursuant to the report, is to allow the county to settle the claim bill, it further goes on to strike provisions of the insurance policy between Volusia County and the insurer. Question that we have, of course, is with no fault of Volusia, no fault of the insurance carrier, what is the effect and impact if a federal judge strikes provisions of that insurance policy? We don't know. Secondly, as claim bills go through the legislative process, often the case, and certainly it's what the legislature has produced this year, going back for I think the past 40 years or so, claim bills often do get settled. With rare exception, we settle all of our claim bills in the legislative process. Claim bills oftentimes get amended in the legislative process for lower amounts. And another question that the committee may want to ask itself is what happens if this claim bill goes forward, is reduced by some amount, and the federal action is still out there unstayed comes in and then strikes provisions of the insurance policy and seeks the amount at the full amount. It's because of these reasons and the uncertainty out there, and we've never dealt with one where we had a federal action looming over a legislative process, which is usually an act of grace in the final stages and resolution. We think that Senate Rule 4.81 does control here because the impact of that federal court could very well impact what happens in the legislative process and how the relationship and the policy between Volusia County and its insured remains. Chairman, if there's any questions, I'd be happy to answer.
Any questions? All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Up next, John Phillips. You're recognized.
Ladies and gentlemen, I've had the pleasure of representing Ms. Joynt through the pre-suit process where we presented it to Volusia County Council, through trial where a Volusia County jury essentially awarded $2.6 million against itself, through appeal, through a special master hearing, and now before this committee. The significant part of that is this is the first time that these amounts of non-economic damages have ever been tried. For the trial lawyers and the lawyers on the bench, there's motions for remittitor and additor. Remittitor means to reduce, additor means to add. Not proceeded with in the lower court, not appealed. It's only before this honorable body that this has come up. That's a significant factor. The senator has certainly addressed the significance of Ms. Joynt's injury, from the coma that she started out with to the brain injury she still has today. She has made a miraculous recovery despite being run over by a large truck. There seems to be a bit of a red herring respectfully related to the federal court action. Prior counsel said unstayed. That federal court action is completely stayed. It is stopped. It is not moving forward because this body needs to rule. That action revolves around whether under 76828 and county and an insurance company can agree to avoid the claims bill process. The law says it can. Contractually, insurance carriers are saying it cannot. And in fact, offering less to claimants than what the premiums are that the county is paying. So we request that your honorable committee approve this claims bill, and I'm here for any questions.
I have a quick question. So it's your testimony that if the claims bill process moves forward positively, then the federal issue, the court issue that's going on will then be null and void?
100%. That is in the terms of the stay which we filed and all parties agreed to that the federal court has entered.
Okay. Further questions?
I have a question.
Senator Thurston for a question.
Yeah. You said that the stay in the federal court is that they're waiting on us to make a decision on the claims bill. It's specifically stayed because of that?
You're recognized.
Thank you. It is stayed because the claims bill, when it was filed, it was pre-claims bill. Right. And now this legislature has the decision-making process here. We don't need to challenge what the law is and what can happen in the law when we're already here. And so we've stayed that if this somehow doesn't make it out of claims bill this session, we have the right to carry on with that. But it is completely stayed with the terms of if this body rules or if it's settled, that there will be no more federal court action.
Follow up? Further questions? That completes our appearance forms. Is there debate on the bill as amended? All right, seeing none. Senator Simmons, you recognize to close on the bill as amended.
The special master found consistent with what was just stated. No funds from Volusia County will be used to pay the claims bill. Volusia County previously purchased insurance coverage from Star Insurance Company. Payment of the claims bill will come from this insurance coverage. I would ask you to support this this good bill.
Joyce, please call the roll on CS for SB30.
Senator Bracy?
Yes.
Senator Flores? Yes. Senator Garcia? Yes. Senator Gibson? Yes. Senator Mayfield? Yes. Senator Powell,
Yes.
Senator Thurston, Chair Stubbe, Vice Chair Benaquisto.
And yes.
Yes.
By your vote, CS for SB 30 is reported favorably.